You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that's about to get buck wild with Avengers Endgame spoilers. So maybe if you're not into spoilers, shut it off now.
Yeah, we're getting this out of the way early. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Cody.
Thank you all for tuning in. We have a great show for you. A bunch of news to go over. Plus, like we mentioned, we're going to be talking about Avengers Endgame. We're going to be going into spoilers, so be warned.
We're
absolutely
legally allowed by order of the Walt Disney Corporation to spoil the film since it's past the spoiler date that they set.
Papa Disney said it's okay, so we could talk about it now.
By royal Disney decree.
Yeah.
But before we get into the Endgame stuff, is there anything else that we've checked out this week that we want to talk about?
Piracy on the high seas.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, Josh and I actually played Sea of Thieves together.
All right. Awesome. How did it go?
I mean, I played Sea of Thieves. He just kind of rode along.
Hey, I'd never played it before. It was a learning experience for me. But I think it's a very fun game that does a lot of very interesting and cool things. And I accidentally ate raw snake meat and threw up everywhere.
That's okay. The day that the update dropped, I accidentally ate fish bait
Oh.
and threw up. It was awful. I was like, I didn't want to click that.
It does so many things that other games just don't do, and it's just a cool open pirate world.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I kind of wish I had something that could play the game.
Your computer probably could.
It probably could, but
It's not all that. It's not
graphically intensive, really.
I
Or,
mean,
like it looks.
the water is.
I mean, it looks nice, but like.
They designed it to be scalable.
Oh, they did. Okay, cool. Well,
because
then
it is cross-play between Xbox and PC.
Interesting. Okay, I may have to jump into that then.
Yep.
Huh.
I mean, I know I've talked about it 100 billion times on this show, but it's always fun to bring in somebody onto my crew.
Cool. So, did you raid any islands, steal the loot?
We
Fight
did
a
a
ghost or
story.
something?
We did a story quest, which is a new thing they've added recently,
Okay, cool.
which involved finding a lot of items and putting them into a
Altar.
altar.
A
That's
slot.
the word. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It was very, very Indiana Jonesian.
Yeah.
Cool. Does that tie into the video that you did?
We basically did the exact same thing.
Did the same thing? Okay,
Yep.
cool. Because that video is going to be going up this weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Actually,
So
I think
check that out on YouTube.
I think it was the same totem in the same island.
Oh, really? Okay, right on.
Yeah, the altar would show you places to dig for coins, and you go dig for them.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and it unlocked the final chamber or whatever to get the
Shroud breaker.
the hooky spooky idol.
Yeah.
And then I got a new hat.
Hey, new hats.
You did get a new hat after being mostly nude for most of the journey
Yeah, I was.
because you didn't know how clothes worked.
I did not. I didn't. There's the treasure chest in the hold down there you gotta use.
We fought a skeleton ship, and it was kicking our butt for a second.
Yeah.
We were in a really bad spot.
But then you managed to cheese it because it got stuck on an island.
Yep, and then I went over and I blew it up with gunpowder barrels.
Oh, wow.
Well, I stood in the crow's nest of our ship and watched you do it through a spyglass.
Wow.
And then we went to port and then got jumped by players.
Yeah. Luckily, we got the good stuff turned in before we lost all of it, but we did lose some loot because of some randos.
We lost
decided to-
like a box of loot.
I love how it just lets PvP stuff happen. It doesn't hold your hand like every other video game. Like, are you sure you want to fight this other player, or you don't want to hurt their feelings? Like, it's a pirate world, and that crap happens.
Yeah.
It is the saltiest of PvP.
Yeah.
Like, there are achievements for stealing stuff from other people.
Oh, nice. Well, I'd love to talk about this more, but we really got to get onto the in-game stuff. Before we do that, the other thing that we kind of all checked out this week pretty much was we went to Free Comic Book Day. We had a booth set up at MB Subculture in Bucyrus, and it was a good time. Mm-hmm. We got to meet a lot of new, hopefully new listeners.
Hi,
new listeners. How you doing? What's up? Good to see you. No, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to set up, and I appreciate MB Subculture giving us the space.
Definitely.
Yeah. kind of makes me excited to do more boothing and more stuff. And
yeah, I mean, it was a good time. We got to talk to a few people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few.
It was the first time I'd ever been to that location of MB Subculture.
Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty neat little shop, too.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
It's well set up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we've horsed around enough. Let's go ahead and talk about Avengers Endgame. Now, again, I cannot stress this enough. We're going to talk about the movie. Some stuff is going to be spoilers. 90% of it's going to be spoilers.
This is deep discussion.
So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to get spoiled,
you probably have already been, though.
Yeah.
Come back at the halfway point. Come back at
after the break.
After the break. Yeah. Don't.
This is your warning.
And don't spoil the movie if you haven't had it spoiled already, because it's worth seeing.
It is worth seeing. Yeah. If you have any inclination to go see this, see it. Do it. Anyway, so Avengers. First gut reactions. What did you guys think of Endgame? I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It was a very good film. It was a very good movie. The 5-year time jump.
Yes, that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Taking the time jump. I didn't think I was going to do that.
The big surprise though was when they just showed up at Farmer Thanos' little bungalow.
Yeah, I did not expect that to happen within the first 20 minutes.
And just smoked him within the first 20 minutes of the movie. Yeah,
it wasn't even 20 minutes.
That was nuts.
It was maybe 10 or 15.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That happened. I was like, roll credits.
Yeah. I liked that they didn't spend really any time introducing any of the characters. They're like,
You've had 20 movies to get.
You've had 22 movies to figure this out. We're not going to take our time to this is Rocket Raccoon and he's from space. No, it's
his friend is a tree.
You know who these people are, especially the end fight scene where people just started showing up and pouring out of portals and stuff.
It was so incredible the whole time.
Got chills. Got chills. Did you see Howard the Duck was in there?
Was he really?
He is in the background of a handful of scenes holding a gigantic gun.
Nice.
Yeah. There's one scene in particular people have screenshotted. It's like they're doing a panning shot of all of the main character heroes coming out of portals and stuff, and you see the Wasp mid to right to center of the screen, and back catty corner a little ways is Howard the Duck with this giant almost Cable from X-Men looking gun that he's carrying. It's great. Yeah, I liked it a lot. This movie had an effect on me that's kind of opposite of a lot of superhero movies and a lot of movies that I go into kind of looking critically. Usually I leave a movie going, yeah, this is the best movie I've ever seen, and then start thinking about it and going, maybe this didn't work out so well, maybe that didn't work out so well. This was the opposite. I walked out of this movie going, that was good. It was really good. I even told you guys, I think I liked Infinity War better because it seemed like it was more of a cohesive kind of plot instead of being 3 or 4 different disparate kind of things all kind of thrown together.
It was pretty fragmented, but at 3 hours and that much stuff to throw in.
They kind of had to. And for the amount of stuff, what they did with the movie. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've warmed to the movie to where now I'm like, yeah, that's the best of the bunch. The stuff that they had to do and reading into things and thinking about stuff. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. I only had one complaint, and it was how they treated Black Widow. I was not thrilled.
I am not happy about the way they did that, but they kind of wrote themselves into a corner because in Age of Ultron, Tony Stark gets a flash of the future, and Black Widow has died and is in the exact same position that she is in at the bottom of the thing. So... And along with that other thing, he saw Captain America's shield get broken in the exact same pattern that it does at the end of this movie, and a couple other things. They wrote themselves into it.
Some things kind of had to pass.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's a crummy way to go. They were really building Hawkeye up to be the one to sacrifice himself. And my opinions of Jeremy Renner notwithstanding, I still think even if I liked the actor and character, that they had written his character to be okay, he has lost everything.
He's beyond redemption at this point.
Beyond redemption, that's it.
Because he went kind of full Punisher there for a while.
Yeah, also, did you notice that he was really only attacking...
Bad guys.
Foreign bad guys?
Oh, that's a little...
Did you catch
problematic?
Did you catch that? Because they're like, oh yeah, we've heard about this Mexican cartel down in Mexico that got all sliced up, and then the next time you see him is in Japan.
fighting Yakuzas.
Like, I'm sure that he is also fighting like mobsters and stuff like that in America, but the movie
Doesn't mention it.
does not mention it. So that's a little...
It just kind of sucks that they've dumped on Black Widow basically the entire run.
They kind of did.
And this isn't the payoff that she deserved, unfortunately.
No, she did not. Her death was in service of a bunch of male, predominantly white, if you don't count Hulk as green, characters, and it does the character a disservice. Black Widow deserved better.
I feel like there were times it kind of pandered to both things, like getting rid of like Black Widow.
Sure.
But then you have like, the girl power, the female empowerment scene in the movie.
Which I loved it. I recognized it as pandering.
Oh, no, you're not wrong. Yeah. I loved it. It was fantastic.
I loved it, too. I'm not saying that it wasn't a great shot and a great scene, but it did come off a little pandery.
But also the fact that given Captain Marvel's power set, it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah. She didn't need the help.
Nah.
She literally blew up Thanos' ship by herself with herself.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the time travel aspect of it? How do you think they handled that?
Jumping through the quantum realm?
Or just the way that they handled the rules of time travel? Because time travel is a really tricky thing in movies because the rules are different in every film.
That brings up time travel.
In fact, they even reference it because there's that shot where they're like rattling off time travel movies back and forth was great. They even said Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
I was initially super disappointed that time travel was going to be the solution because it seemed like an easy out. But it worked.
It allowed us to kind of parade through the greatest hits of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, which was a fun nostalgia trip that really was earned.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
Yeah, there was a lot of recaps through a lot of things through a lot of the films.
Yeah. I kind of liked how the directors kind of it was almost as if they said, "Hey, do you remember how much you hated Thor 2? Well, guess what?
We're going to spend some time there.
It's actually super important, you guys."
Yeah.
So buckle up.
And all the Thor 2 stuff was really good, too.
I'm really glad they gave Thor's mom kind of the send-off that she did because, she didn't get that in Thor 2
the first time around.
So how obvious to you guys was it that Natalie Portman was not on set at all for this movie whatsoever?
Oh, I figured she wouldn't be. Although I did read that they did have her do some voiceover.
She said one line.
Yeah.
She said a line.
So there's a new line from her, but
it was all the footage was archival.
Yeah.
Because different takes.
It's an easy way to do it if you've got the stuff laying around.
I guess, but
and then them recutting shots from the first Avengers.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was all fun.
That was a lot of fun. I like how it also sets up the Loki show that's going to be on Disney Plus with him disappearing. And his whole miniseries could take place in the time it takes for him to escape with the Cosmic Cube or the Tesseract, whatever they're calling it in the movie, and have him get caught and be back in time for the ending of the first Avengers
to set the timeline correct,
to still make sense and reset everything correctly
and set up Thor 2.
And I would not be upset with that whatsoever. That's great. Yeah, I like how they made a lot of references to how, hey, this isn't like Back to the Future 2, and the time travel rules most closely resemble Back to the Future 2.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah, with the parallel timelines and the splinter timelines. Yeah, that's basically it.
What'd you think of Professor Hulk?
I'm so happy they put Professor Hulk in there. I think one of the best moves the Marvel Studios made was, as much as I liked Edward Norton and a lot of different things, I don't think he was right for Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk movie is honestly kind of forgettable.
I thought it was okay.
It's good. Yeah. I liked it, but I think Edward Norton does not work with ensembles very well, especially when he is not the main focus of the ensemble.
I mean, that was the whole reason he was recast, because he threw a fit.
He wanted to rewrite most of Avengers because he didn't like how it was going.
This isn't Hulk Avengers, the Edward Norton story.
Right, but I think casting Ruffalo to replace him was probably one of the best steps they could have made because
he looks like he's having fun all the time.
Yeah,
just all the time. He's just so happy to be there.
Between him and Tom Holland.
Yeah,
and Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we've ever had.
He kind of is. Now, can you imagine this movie with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man swinging around?
No, he would look older than
47-year-old Iron Spider-Man, Mr. Stark. Oh,
he'd be Peter B. Parker.
Yeah, basically, right? I understand why they needed to do the big fight scene at the end, and I thought it was awesome. But if they would have just ended the movie with, like, Thanos gets taken out first 5 minutes, and the rest of the movie is them correcting the timeline without the big fight at the end, I would have been all right with that too.
Yeah, but
you also need the giant fight scene.
But
the fight was so cool.
It was so cool.
But it also fixed the whole Gamora's dead thing from Infinity War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though it kind of brought in a different Gamora.
Well, it resets the whole she doesn't like
Quill.
Because nobody likes Quill now.
Which sets up the whole Guardians 3 storyline.
It's going to be probably the search for Gamora.
Guardians 3, the search for Gamora.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the odd-numbered Star Trek movies.
The search for Gamora's gold.
Oh yeah, no, that's good.
The fact that like Nebula and Thor are like guardians now.
Yeah, that's really cool. The Asgardians of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, only one of them's an Asgardian.
We haven't talked about it yet because there's so much we haven't talked about.
Fat Thor.
What do we think of Fat Thor?
He got depressed and he got fat and lazy.
Well, here's a lot of things.
To a lot of us.
I think his depression arc was a good take. Some traumatic things, a lot of guilt that he feels responsible for everything that happened before and everything. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there was a lot of like
fat jokes.
Yeah, there were a lot of fat shaming jokes.
Yeah.
And the fat suit was also bad. It was not a great fat suit.
Yeah, I think Fat Thor was pretty funny for the most part.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say I didn't laugh at the jokes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can kind of recognize that, hey, this probably could have been handled a little better, but the way they did it was still.
I didn't so much laugh at the fat jokes. I more laughed at like when Stark calls him Lebowski.
Because he looked like the Big Lebowski. Yeah.
There was fat jokes that just weren't good. Like his mom telling him to eat a salad. It's like that's not clever.
I laughed.
But like
I thought it was kind of funny.
Like Korg playing
Fortnite was pretty great. I'm glad they brought Korg back. Yeah.
Korg.
Thor, the being made to me online again.
Was it like New Blocker 69 or something? Or like,
yeah, that's it.
Or something like that. Something stupid.
Yep. I'm glad that they, for all of the fat jokes and whatever, I'm glad that by the final fight, Thor didn't go, "Oh, hey, I'm cured of my depression. Lightning bolt. I'm skinny again." I'm glad that wasn't the case. I'm glad he stayed chubby.
It was also really hard to tell with like the Thor armor.
Oh, but he still was.
Yeah, I know. The Thor armor and like all the after effects and everything. And plus, there was just so much going on in that scene.
There was a lot. Yeah, I really need to see this movie again, honestly, to kind of catch everything.
I liked the little nods to some of the bigger like past comic book events.
Sure.
Like the Hail Hydra.
The Hail Hydra from Cap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was really good. Yep.
I saw a really funny meme where they took that scene and it said, when you've played this game before and you know how to beat the level. Because that was a twofer. That was the Hydra Cap and also a reference to
the elevator scene.
The elevator scene from Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that this movie kind of was more of a focus on some the characters that weren't as much of a focus in Infinity War. Because in Infinity War, there was a lot of Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of Guardians. There was a lot of
Black Panther
Black Panther stuff. This one, they really kind of led the way for Ant-Man, Hulk. They kind of, between the two, they let everyone have their thing.
It was a movie more about the original Avengers than it was the ancillary characters, which makes sense because it's kind of their send-off.
It's their send-off, yeah.
But also, let's be serious. Most of like the Earth-based like Avenger ensemble movies are basically just sequential Iron Man films.
Kind of,
yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Avengers, Civil War. I mean, so much Iron Man stuff.
Well, Civil War was a Cap. Avengers.
Yes and no. Yes.
You're talking about Age of Ultron.
Yeah, there too.
Yeah, Civil War was called Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, I know, but there was a ton of Iron Man stuff in that though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was whole focused on the death of Iron Man's parents.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vision didn't come back in some kind of capacity.
Yeah,
he was destroyed before the snap.
Yeah,
that's true, and I guess Shuri was part of the snap, so she wasn't able to fix him in the meantime.
Yep. That was pre-snap. The destruction of the Nova Corps was pre-snap.
Yeah, that's true.
The death of present-day Loki was pre-snap.
Yep. You know, overall, I really enjoyed this one. I really think it was...
it definitely deserves another look over.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm sure there's a ton of stuff we're missing. Ant-Man was amazing.
Oh, yeah, Paul Rudd did great.
Paul Rudd is... It's Paul Rudd playing Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Though it's kind of funny, like, if you've looked, like, take Ant-Man 1, where Paul Rudd's character is completely brain dead to all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But by this point, he's been around Pym and enough that he's kind of picked up some stuff.
Well, he's like, we can do this. I don't know how, because I'm not science. I'm not a science boy,
but I know kind of how to do it.
But I picked up enough that I think this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Gwyneth Paltrow or Pepper Potts in the armor?
Oh, they made Gwyneth Paltrow cool. I didn't know you could do it, but they did it.
They did it. They kind of did it in Iron Man
3.
Yeah.
Was that 3?
Yeah, that was I guess the precedent for her being able to kind of,
do it,
be more of an action type.
Did they ever explain what happened with the extremists?
She got better.
I got better.
Yeah.
Though I'm kind of surprised she did it with their daughter. The fact that both your parents are fighting in the same battle against the biggest bad of the universe.
Well, I mean, if they don't, then she's gonna get killed.
Then she's gonna get Plus,
Thanos is gonna kill everybody.
Plus, Happy Hogan's there, so like.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I guess like I don't know. It was a thought I had.
They needed Pepper to be in the fight so that she could have the big dramatic ending with Tony at the very end.
True.
Okay, here's my question. The last scene, they're panning through the crowd shot, and you're seeing everybody in their mourning.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody who's ever been in the Avengers movies.
Do you suppose that there is any reason the kid from Iron Man 3 is there other than being like, hey, remember Iron Man 3? Do you think that that's going to come back in any way, shape, or form? Because they held on him for a while.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, when they panned over, like when I saw the movie, I was like, who is that? And then I saw an article later, I'm like, oh, that's who that was?
Like, he was a fairly decent-sized part in Iron Man 3, but like that movie was so long ago that...
It was almost confusing.
Yeah, they could have left him out of this movie completely, and...
No one would have been upset.
No one would have noticed, and the one person that would have been, hey, what about that kid? They could have said, yeah, he's in his hometown, he got snapped.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It has to lead up to something.
It has to. It has to. And I think what they're doing is they're building to a young Avengers movie. I have this theory between aging Ant-Man's daughter up to teenage.
Now that she is.
You see Hawkeye training his daughter, and she like hits the mark first thing, like right off the bat, which... It's not Kate Bishop, but
it might as well be Kate Bishop.
Might as well be. And having that kid show up and having previous knowledge of Iron Man tech, because he did help Tony build, like, hobble together like
plus
a repulsor
plus
gun
we've got
and stuff.
Spider-Man, who would probably be the leader of the Young Avengers.
If they would, yeah. I honestly believe that is where we're heading towards. I
Maybe.
think that's what we're heading.
My biggest fault with the movie
was
the rat that
should have been a squirrel.
The rat that got Ant-Man out of the quantum realm should have been a squirrel teasing Squirrel Girl.
Even better, put a little pink bow on it.
Yeah, have it be Tippy Toe.
Yeah.
That would have been rad.
Yeah, that was a real... Like, I'm joking, but I'm also serious that was a big missed opportunity.
Especially with, like, how hard S.H.I.E.L.D. pushed the Inhumans and the Inhuman series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Inhumans. God, I forgot about the Inhumans.
I think most people have forgotten a lot about the TV Marvel stuff.
I am kind of bummed that the TV Marvel stuff didn't show up in the...
Not completely, because Jarvis
was there.
And that was TV Jarvis.
That was TV Jarvis.
From the best Marvel TV series, Peggy Carter.
Yeah. I agree with that. And the scenes of the 70s...
Butler Jarvis. I forgot all about Butler Jarvis.
Not counting the Netflix stuff.
Yeah, but I kind of wish that you would have seen, even in just one crowd scene at the end and during the fight, They didn't even have to do any, have any big moment or something. You just see, oh, hey, there's Daredevil. He's over there fighting
that would have been rad. That would have been awesome.
Or like when they were like visiting the overshots of like New York, maybe pan over Hell's Kitchen and see him standing on top of a church or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Just give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they already said in the very first season of Daredevil that the event was the Battle of New York.
Yeah. It was
They are connected.
Yeah.
But they seem it's almost like over the years of all these different like
TV and the
pushed even further away. Because like especially after the dilution of Shield in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like it got even like just where do you go from here?
Is Coulson still alive, or did he die for like a second or third time on Agents of Shield? I'm so far behind on that show.
I'm not completely caught up, but from what I've gathered from the clips from the newest season, Coulson has been dead again. But now there is I don't know if he's an alien or a Skrull or something that looks like Coulson fighting them.
I'm not sure
because they are apparently they were on a spaceship running around space doing a bunch of Kree stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they have, like, Kree battle axes and all kinds of stuff.
You're kidding me.
No, I am not.
That is ridiculous.
And one of the clips from this new season that's just started or starting, their ship makes it back to Earth. And they're like, oh, home sweet home.
Hey, what did we miss? Oh.
Everything.
Yeah. I'm not sure Coulson being alive in the TV show is even canon to the films, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah.
But there were a few crossovers in the show.
Yeah.
Valkyrie showed up for an episode. Not Valkyrie. Lady Sif.
Where was Sif?
We haven't seen Sif since Thor 2.
She got her own show.
She woke up in a duffel bag in New York covered in tattoos.
What?
That's another show that she's on. Yeah. That's why she wasn't in Thor 3, because she was...
Blind Spot,
Blind Spot.
It's called.
She was doing her own show.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That and all the other, like...
the Warriors 3, they got
iced by Hell. By Hell in the beginning of Ragnarok.
Yeah. Listen, we could talk about this movie for like
we could do the whole show.
We got to talk about Cap real quick and how good his ending was. So perfect and great.
His ending was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know about that because there's like
don't get into it's not time travel mechanics, is it?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
The whole thing with Sharon Carter.
Yeah. What about?
Like, it's completely forgot about all of that. And the fact that they kissed and she is the niece? Or
niece.
Or is she the granddaughter?
Grandniece.
I can't even remember now.
Either way, it's weird that it happened now.
It is.
It does make it weird that it happened, but...
Cap didn't know at the time.
I think Futurama touches on an episode of this.
There might be,
it was weird when it happened... without the time travel. I don't know why they put that in that movie at all.
Because there wasn't a lot of context there.
Yeah.
I mean, I read an article where they feel like that scene wasn't needed in Winter Soldier. Not Winter Soldier.
Civil War. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was the right ending. This was the right way to go out with Cap. And despite what some people say, giving the shield to Falcon was the right choice over Bucky. I really do believe. There's precedent for Falcon being a Captain America for a while in the comics for a long time. And between that...
He was Captain America a lot longer than Bucky was.
Yep, he was. And between that and Bucky still potentially having some Hydra influence...
Or Soviet influence.
Or Soviet influence, something. Because they thought him out in Wakanda doesn't mean that he was totally 100%. He was on his way to being totally fixed. But what happens if all of a sudden your Captain America gets a code word and goes on a rampage?
Yeah, you don't want that. What if Baron Zemo comes back again? And
you don't want that.
Does the whole thing again?
Exactly. So I think that was the right choice.
Bucky has his own brand at this point. Bucky's Bucky.
Bucky's his own thing.
Falcon is just kind of like an Iron Man that flies.
Yeah, basically.
He's like War Machine, but not.
With less armor.
Yeah.
Less armor, less guns.
Yep, and we're going to see a whole lot more of that in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show on Disney+.
I always felt like they had good chemistry.
They really do.
Yeah.
I like
they're kind of like buddy cop kind of relationship. I cracks me up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Like ever since Civil War, I was like, yes, I want more of this.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we seriously got to take a break. So when we get back, we'll be getting into some news.
But the movie gets our seal of approval. Hey everybody, keep dancing. We're live because that was the 1988 National Aerobic Championship theme by Ty Parr. And there's a reason we played that.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah, other than it's awesome. And also there's a video that goes along with it that's hilarious.
Yes.
But Detective Pikachu leaked onto YouTube, supposedly.
Supposedly, yes. Kind of.
And
sorta.
Ryan Reynolds retweeted it.
And it was amazing.
Because it gives you about 30 seconds of the movie, and then it's just 2 hours of Pikachu dancing
to that song. A very similar song. To
a sound-alike of this song, which is based on a Key and Peele sketch.
Which was based on the 1988 Aerobic Championship.
Yeah. It's such a weird, deep hole that
It was so weird, but it's so great.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of internet meme.
It really is.
The Pikachu animated model is doing that exact dance.
Yeah, he's doing the same dance from the Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's so good.
It's a really fun marketing.
Every news outlet and every person I knew was sharing it and putting it everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Because it was legitimately good and funny content.
Yeah.
And I can watch Pikachu dance for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
That Pikachu model is so good. It's so cute and fluffy.
I can't. It's so fluffy I can die.
In the opposite of Sonic the Hedgehog.
God, that picture they switched Sonic and Pikachu's faces.
Yeah.
You know what? It actually kind of works a little bit. It works a little for me. The eyes in the face that they put on the Pikachu model from the Sonic model.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't remember if I saw that
I don't think it's
or not.
as bad
it's
as...
It's in the line I put it.
Oh, then I did see it then.
Yeah.
And
it's not as bad as the Sonic face. Like, I think it worked okay. But... yeah, you know what? That video, that was the perfect. It kind of really set the stage for how this Detective Pikachu is going to go. I
can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for Detective Pikachu.
I mean, we're all going to see it this weekend, right?
Oh yeah,
probably.
It's definitely in my plans.
So be ready next week when we talk about Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I'd have to say, on a whole, this picture is better for both of them.
Yes, kinda.
Well, not better for both of them. But it works. It works both ways.
Yep.
Don't show it to me. I put,
put it in there.
You put it in there. Yeah. All right. So if we want to talk about movies some more and stuff, there was a trailer for the second film. I guess what are they calling it? It Part 2.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. So we saw that, and yeah,
it looks good.
It looks.
I loved the first. The first one was very good. It was a very fun spook time at the movies.
Very scary Goonies is kind of how I would describe it.
I mean, that's kind of how the book was.
Yeah, but this one didn't have any weird, gross sewer parties.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Less of that, the better. Yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you,
but this trailer is legitimately creepy.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
The old lady in it, kind of like. The way she was acting, like I know what she was and everything, but it was like kind of reminded me of Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, yeah. She just made me think of the grandma from Happy Gilmore for some reason.
When she's got the kiss mask on.
I thought she was gonna put on a Gene Simmons mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was legitimately creepy, and that's what was so good about the first one, is that it was legitimately creepy without resorting to a lot of the
jump scares.
No, there was
jump scares
a couple times, pretty bad.
It didn't resort to the same tired, creepy tropes that a lot of stuff does.
Okay, gotcha. You know what this trailer reminded me a lot of? There was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like these two kids that go to their grandparents for the summer. And there's something wrong with the grandparents.
Oh, I remember. Was that an M. Night movie?
It was an M. Night movie.
I didn't know that was an M. Night.
I believe
so. I forget what it was called.
I think it was an M. Night movie.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Okay, but the way the old lady was acting in this trailer seemed a lot like the way the grandparents in that movie, and I won't spoil the twist of that movie because it's a pretty big one. But
it is what a twist!
What a twist! Yes.
But it is just so balls to the wall, unapologetically weird and creepy that it works.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was called The Visit.
Yeah.
And it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
It was an M. Night.
And written by him as well.
They probably just didn't want you to know that it was.
That was the one. It was either right before or right after Earth. So I think they're maybe trying to hide it a little bit.
2015.
So that it was after Earth.
The happening.
Man.
The trees are coming to get us.
The Happening. What a... Ooh.
Yeah, that has got to be probably the worst one of his films.
Yeah, that was the prime, like, you're done point. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, he was never done.
Yeah. People dog on Lady in the Water a lot. And for what it is, if you look at it just as like a straight movie, it's not good. It deserves it.
I feel like it's the one that strokes his ego the most.
It does because he's the hero.
He's the hero. It's also based on a children's story that he wrote for his children.
But but at least the visuals and stuff has kind of a real life, fairy tale-esque kind of.
I liked that movie.
It's like a real life modern day interpretation of some grim, like original Grimm fairy tale, like the kind of dark and dirty kind.
Yeah, like the original.
And I think if you look at it like that, it's a little bit better.
Grimm's fairy tales for nasty boys.
I liked Devil, the one where they're all trapped in an elevator.
Oh, Devil in an Elevator movie. Yeah,
I liked that movie. I mean, I hated The Happening.
But which one? Which one is the devil? Is that the gist? I never saw it.
Pretty much.
I forget, was the twist that the elevator was the devil?
Yeah.
No.
Was the twist that the devil was inside of all of them all along?
Was the devil the friends we made along the way?
Let's stop talking about M. Night Shyamalan.
Let's talk about something else.
Enough.
How about Spider-Man Far From Home? Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm stoked for this.
I am
very
too.
stoked for
they
this.
released another trailer.
And it was a spoiler trailer.
It was a spoiler trailer for Endgame.
So
Tom Holland came out and he was like, "Pip pip cheerio! Don't watch this if you haven't seen."
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't spoil it himself in that.
Yeah.
Because he is infamous for being him and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Ruffalo. Yeah.
It's like
pretty bad about the spoilers. But the trailer looks really good. I'm really excited for it. It leaves me with a lot more questions about what exactly is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I have some theories about what exactly is the deal with Mysterio. I mean, I don't have theories about what's going on with Mysterio. He's a con man.
Yeah.
If you read the comics, Mysterio is a con man.
And he's conning S.H.I.E.L.D.
My question is he conning S.H.I.E.L.D. or is he conning Spider-Man? Because Quentin Beck always had a partner who was a master of disguise that worked with him. So what if everybody, including Fury, is like being employed by is someone in disguise being employed by Quentin Beck?
We haven't explained what happens in the trailer.
Yeah.
Mysterio shows up and they're like, he's from Earth, but not our Earth.
It's like multiverse because of Endgame.
Yeah, well, they say because of the snap. It cracked a hole in the dimensional
barrier,
whatever's.
Woo-ha.
Yeah, and it sounds super made up.
Yeah.
And a lot of the trailer involves Spider-Man going, "Hey, this world needs new superheroes now that Iron Man's not around anymore. Maybe this guy will be a hero." And
I need to step up and be the new Iron Man.
Basically.
Kinda.
Well, he doesn't want to be.
Right.
He's like, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And Nick Fury is like, you've been to space.
I bet at one point he's going to say, "Hey, Mysterio knows a lot about technology. Why doesn't he just be the next Iron Man?" And that's going to be it. That's going to be the thing.
Well, I don't think it's a fake Nick Fury. I mean, it might be. I don't know.
My other theory is that Nick Fury knows that Quentin Beck is trying to con S.H.I.E.L.D. and is playing dumb to kind of manipulate the situation.
Yeah.
That's my other theory.
You can't put one over on Nick Fury.
What if it's the chameleon?
Like a little lizard?
Yeah, like a tiny lizard. Yeah, it's a little tiny lizard in a Nick Fury costume.
Yeah.
Well, little tiny eye patch.
The reason I think it's not a fake Nick Fury because of the fact that he gives Spider-Man that stealth suit.
It's Decoy Octopus.
Yeah.
As disguised as the DARPA chief.
But anyway, the point of this is Mysterio is going to be pulling some stuff, and I can't wait.
I'm a little sad we didn't get enough globed helmet.
Yeah, well, they got to get Gyllenhaal's weird face in there somehow.
Also, I was shopping today and I saw some Funko collectibles that actually legit called like the Elementals, like Hydro Man and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Lego sets do too.
Oh, well, then there you go.
So they're not like, they might not be just made up monsters that, I mean, it could be because it's Mysterio, but
right, but like Hydro Man is an established
Spider-Man villain.
Who sounds like a Mega Man villain.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. And it definitely seems like they're definitely playing that card of this girl is MJ.
Oh, yeah.
Just not the MJ everyone knows.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of the regular MJ. Why not make her
Zendaya
different?
does a great job as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how, sarcastic and everything she is.
I like that a lot.
Yep, and then also, from what I understand, there's a kind of a nudge to the comics with Ned and his lady friend that he's trying to woo on this class trip or whatever.
Really?
Yep. It is...
Gwen Stacy.
No.
Kidding.
No, because Ned's namesake comes from the original Hobgoblin character.
Right.
Not confused with the Green Goblin. And his...
A lot of goblins.
Yeah.
A lot of goblins
and
versus Spider-Man.
And his wife's name was Becky? Or Brent? I can't remember. But her character is named after that character.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well...
So I don't know if they're building up Ned to become a goblin.
Later? I hope not.
Please don't.
I like Ned. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that sweet boy. I don't think
he's
he's
a sweet boy. No,
Yeah.
he's no goblin.
He's no goblin boy.
I mean, there are a lot of goblin-based villains in Spider-Man.
Hobgoblin, Green Goblin,
Demogoblin.
Gobgoblin,
Goblin.
Job Goblin, Rob Goblin.
Attorney at law.
I hate you, Rob Goblin.
Has this ever happened to you? I'm Rob Goblin, and I'll fight for you.
Goblin rights.
Spider-Man. I'm Rob Goblin of Goblin, Goblin, and Goblin.
We'll fight for you unless you're Spider-Man.
We'll fight for you unless you're Spider-Man. We hate that guy. He's a menace.
He's a menace. Yes. Oh.
They subscribe to J. Jonah Jameson's podcast.
That's one of the best things in that game.
Oh, really good. Isn't Jason Mantzoukas supposed to be up for the J. Jonah Jameson in this?
Who?
He's a stand-up comedian. He was on Parks and Rec for a little bit. He's on a podcast called How Does This Get Made? He was...
There's only one J. Jonah Jameson in my heart.
It's J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was perfect.
Yeah, but this Jason Mantzoukas guy, he's... they were like going to turn it into like an online publication kind of thing. And basically he's a guy who just yells a lot. Yeah.
You know, what little Commissioner Gordon we got in the DC movies with
It was very
J.K.
good.
Simmons. I mean, he wasn't bad, but I much preferred him as J. Jonah.
Well, yeah. Sure.
It's like the role he was born to play.
Yeah.
That and drum yelling.
And that
man.
the drum yeller.
That just scares the crap out of me.
Well, you're just not his tempo.
For me personally, that would be the scariest horror movie I've ever seen.
I kind of want to make you watch it.
Maybe
well,
we should do
when
it.
Halloween comes around.
Yeah, that's the Halloween special for No, I haven't seen that.
Presenting Cody's Nightmare.
Yeah, my personal nightmare, a teacher who wants to yell at me all of the time.
and throw things violently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Spider-Man looks really good. I'm very excited for it. It seems like we've seen like at least three different spider suits in the trailer. Because he starts off with his Iron Spider suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he takes his regular spider suit on the school trip.
And then you see
this, which is a reference to the Secret War Spider-Man comic.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard the theory that they were going to set up Bruce Campbell as Mysterio?
Yeah, and
in the Spider-Man
I wish
movies
they would have,
because he had
he's
kept showing
everywhere.
up in all three of the other movies.
Yep,
it would have been perfect,
and not just the fact that he was Sam Raimi's like best friend.
Yeah,
he would have made an amazing Mysterio.
He really
would have.
Because he can ham it up with the best of them.
He
is King Ham.
And that's Mysterio's an actor.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, actor / I think he was like a special effects.
Special effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, let's get into some game news because we have some of this here. Do we want to talk about the PlayStation State of Play real quick?
Let's do that.
It's not going to take us long. There's not a whole lot there.
No, it was very short. State of Play, of course, is PlayStation's ripoff of Nintendo Direct.
Where they just announce a couple of things and
in a video.
Move on with your day. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to be terribly blunt about it.
Well.
But there was some cool announcements. There just wasn't a whole lot. There's an expansion coming for Monster Hunter World that makes you go to an ice place.
That's cool.
It looks cool. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks neat.
They spent a little too long on it. It was a short presentation and they spent too long on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it's like they had 15 minutes and they spent at least 7 or 8 of it on Monster Hunter, where there was maybe only 3 minutes worth of content.
Yeah, because most of it was just cinematics.
Yep.
They announced, I don't know if they announced this or if it was just a new trailer for a remake of Medieval.
It's their second trailer.
Okay. It was the second trailer.
Because the original trailer showed like side-by-side cuts from the original game to the remake. Or the remaster.
Yeah, they're remastering PlayStation 1 Classic Medieval is the one about the Skeleton Man.
Skeleton Knight, Sir Daniel Fortescue.
It looks good.
Yeah,
it sounds
looks
like
good.
You said Fortescue.
I really want them to do Medieval 2, and I hope Medieval 2's in there, because I don't think Medieval 1 would be long enough to hold a whole remaster.
Yeah, you'd think they'd do a 2-pack.
And for all we know, they might.
That's true, because we haven't seen anything.
It. Yeah.
Or maybe they added a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't work at Sony. My uncle does. No, my uncle doesn't.
My Uncle Mario works at Nintendo.
He works at Sony. They showed a game called River Bond, which looked like a kind of a...
It looked like a game we would enjoy playing together.
Yeah, it did.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was a very pixelated voxel style, kind of Diablo...
Fighting with swords and fighting dungeons and stuff.
Co-op dungeon crawl with cool voxel pixel graphics. Looks a lot like 3D Dot Game Heroes, if you've ever seen that game.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It'd be something I'd be willing to check out.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. It looks... it doesn't look like something I would spend a ton of money on. Well, I don't have a PlayStation anyway, so I guess I wouldn't be spending any money on it.
To be fair, we don't know if that's an exclusive or not.
Well, true.
I could see a Steam release coming out of this.
But yeah, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely right up that alley, like with Sort of Ditto and Dead Cells and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get a Switch release, that would be amazing. I mean, it's not like it's
It's the only system we all own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. There was also a Predator asymmetrical hunting game.
Yep, it's made by the people who made the Friday the 13th.
Right. So we should probably explain what an asymmetrical game is. What is that?
It is a multiplayer-based game where you have a team of 4?
Well, I mean, just basically, you have a team of less powerful characters who are being hunted by a more powerful character played by another player.
It's kind of like tag.
Yeah, it kind of is, but with murder.
People. Yep, and each new round it randomizes who gets to be the monster.
Whoever's it, basically.
Yeah. Yep, the Friday the 13th did it. Evolve did it with giant monsters.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight was
which is actually really good. And it's actually getting a lot more stuff, especially with the Switch release that's coming soon.
Yeah, they added Ash Williams to it.
They did. Yeah, or an approximation of Ash Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depth is kind of like that. Actually,
the shark one. Yeah.
Yep. From what I read about the Predator hunting ground, it sounds a lot more like Depth, because basically what the paramilitary or the military characters are, they are going around fighting enemy combatants and collecting loot and stuff, and then the Predator is going around hunting them.
Oh, that's cool.
I think the goal is you're supposed to maybe complete your mission before the Predator kills everybody.
So you don't fight the Predator.
Well, I think you do.
You can fight the Predator, but
it's probably going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you can fight Jason in the Friday the 13th game. It's just very hard, and he doesn't stay down for very long.
Plus, you have to be Tommy Jarvis to do it, to beat him. No, that's a real thing. Yeah.
Is that the dude with the shotgun that shows up?
Yep.
In the game?
Yep, you have to fill a bunch of really specific quest things during a round in order to unlock your character to become Tommy Jarvis, show up with a shotgun that has one bullet that you can use to knock out Jason for good for the round. And that's it.
He's not down for the round because I got him, but he does get back up because he killed me.
Oh, okay, well then he does, okay.
But you guys are forgetting the most important, most exciting reveal of all. a game where you play as some kind of flying squirrel. It's called Away, and they didn't explain it at all.
This is a weird one.
And it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I've seen a few games that go along with this style, and from what I could see of that trailer, it kind of basically checks the boxes of an animal survival style game.
The closest thing it reminded me of is like this crappy old Wii game called like Dangerous Creatures, where you play as a spider or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one.
There was a PlayStation 3 or 4 game that was called like Tokyo Jungle.
Oh, Tokyo Jungle was cool.
Really glitchy though. But this looks kind of like that, where you probably honestly like evolve and level up to be able to survive better. And, procreate your species and everything.
But it was just, they played it up like it was a big deal.
And it's not. I mean, it looks very nice.
And it was just a weird animal game.
Yeah.
There's a game coming out on, I think it's going to come out on a few platforms, but it's called like Ancestors Human Odyssey or something like that, where it takes place in like prehistoric like times, and you're apes. And the goal of that game is to discover your world and evolve and help evolve the species as a whole, and you can live out different generations in the game, because when your ape dies or whatever, you go to the next one.
Interesting.
This game perfectly exemplifies what doesn't work about PlayStation State of Play that does work about the Nintendo Direct. Mm-hmm. They didn't explain any of the game's mechanics.
It just said, hey, here's this game where you're a squirrel.
Yeah, they just showed a trailer. Nintendo Direct, they always show you what the mechanics are or explain to you what's cool about this game.
Yeah.
They just showed a trailer, and I was confused.
They could have just dumped a bunch of trailers online today, said, hey, there's 4 trailers of things online at 6 o'clock. Go watch them.
Yeah.
And that's all. I mean, they would have saved time. The last thing is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is the first bit of news that we've gotten from this since its initial announcement. What was this? A couple years ago, at least?
It's been a minute.
And it's still showing primarily the same scenes that it did in that first announcement.
Yeah, there wasn't anything surprising about this at all.
No, it's still the first 20 to 30 minutes of Final Fantasy VII, basically.
To be fair, that's some of the more iconic parts of that game.
Well, that's true. That is true. But
it was cool to see that some of the monster designs didn't change.
Yeah.
They were the same kind of like goofy robots that we got in the original game, and I like that. But
yeah, I like that as well.
Other than that, it was like I felt like it was stuff we'd already seen.
They toned down Cloud's hair, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Everything's fully voiced.
Yeah, everything's fully voiced, and that's fine. It's not turn-based anymore. It's that running around.
That disappoints me. Like
slapping your sword around kind of thing.
So kind of like 12?
15.
Looks like Kingdom Hearts.
It looks like Kingdom Hearts.
If I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts, I'd play Kingdom Hearts.
Then you can hang out with your best friend Mickey.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Sora.
My buddy Donald and Goofy.
Donald not healing you because he's trash.
Yeah. When they try to deliver actual dialogue with Donald's voice, and you're like, what? It's especially great when you're underwater while he's talking. Donald already sounds like he's drowning.
Actually, kind of funny thing in the DuckTales, the newer DuckTales series, something happens. I can't remember. Like Donald gets shocked or something, and he's able to actually talk.
Oh no, there's a device that they use, and he sounds like he has the voice of Don Cheadle.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah. He's able to they're able to understand him.
Oh, that's great.
Until he shorts it out with his temper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, this Final Fantasy VII Remake, it looks fine. I mean, it looks beautiful.
Am I still stoked for this? Yes, absolutely.
Everything is even more dark and gray and almost like black and white than the original game, which is kind of a shame. But that's also the artistic styling, I guess.
Yeah, I'm worried some of these cutscenes are gonna be just cutscenes, and you're gonna miss out on like some of the choices that you had.
Yeah,
because they show him at Cloud and Aerith, whatever they call her these days, doing the flower sale thing, and like, are you gonna have a choice whether or not you want to buy the flower, or is it just gonna be a cutscene now?
Yeah,
you'll buy the flower.
Not if I want the date with Tifa. I won't. Who wasn't in the trailer?
She wasn't. There was very precious few things in this trailer.
Yeah, it was. You just saw Cloud, Barrett, and Aerith. What are they gonna call her?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll actually get the definitive pronunciation of her name.
Yeah.
Because the whole problem with that before was localization of language.
Oh, we also got Biggs and Wedge from the opening.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
And Jesse.
That's it. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. They don't last very long, but they're in there.
I always like those characters,
I do
even
too.
though they're not there very long.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for some parts of the game, like going through the Midgard Tower and everything. And
There's something about that point when Jesse's showing Cloud the map on the train that always made me sad afterwards when I knew that she was gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Same here. Yeah. Well, I think we pretty much covered everything, so let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
you can also find us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Overload TV. It's Nerd Overload TV.
Nerd Overload TV. Go smash that like button.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. You can also find the show on various places you can find podcasts like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, places like that.
Castbox.
Yep, we're on Castbox. We have t-shirts. Go to bit.ly/nerdoverload.t, or there's a store link on our website. And, oh yes, we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdoverloadnow. And I want to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his music over at davidpencil.com.
We did it!
We did it! Yay!
Yay!
So thank you all again for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Pizza out.